All right, welcome back to the channel. Today, a Pakistan Air Force FT-7 trainer jet crashes near Mardan in Pakistan. So you can see here's the fire, small fire. The brush around it seems okay. If I was on scene, you basically want to keep the people away. You're worried about the passengers. I don't know if what happened, if they ejected out or if they made it, or what the news was for the pilots of this aircraft. But from here, looking at it, these type of aircrafts usually have a lot of fuel in them, and so it burns really hot because this is more kind of almost like gasoline type of fuel. Like it's really strong, really powerful, because these engines need stronger fuel than your average Jet A that your regular airplanes use. So it burns a lot hotter and a lot faster. But looking at it here, you could just probably come in with a fire extinguisher. But today I wanted to talk about how do you know the fire extinguisher you have is strong enough for the fire in front of you. So if you had a fire in front of your house, or in your house, how do you know when to leave, call the fire department and leave? Or, okay, the fire extinguisher I have in my house is strong enough to put out this fire by myself. So there's a fine line where you should just call 911 and leave, or use the extinguisher and fight it. So we're going to go over that. So you can see here, they're putting out this fire. Fire's on scene. They're keeping the people out. They're really getting, and with extinguishers, you really want to get into that, get real close, because it's powder. So you don't want, especially outdoors, there's wind. A lot of your agent could get blown away. So he's getting real close to the fire and putting it directly on. You sweep it in a back and forth motion. There's a pin on there that you pull. And that's basically how it works. So looking at a fire extinguisher, this is your standard fire extinguishers that you see around that you should have in your household. So a class A is basically your wood, your ordinary combustibles, your trash can fires, normal trash that's in your house is going to be a class A. Class B is your flammable liquids. So this would be the extinguisher you would want for the fire scene that those firemen were using, because it's flammable liquids. You're having jet fuel, and this is the agent you want to use for that. And then type C is your electrical. You don't want a water extinguisher because water conducts electricity. You want to use this dry chemical powder agent for this type of fire. So this is saying that this extinguisher can cover all three of these categories if these types of fires were to occur. And then these numbers here, this number is how much equivalent this extinguisher has in comparison to if you had water. So how much water would be required to match the agent's powder against a class A fire? So 6A, it's telling you a class A fire. So this type of fire, you would have 6, and the formula is 6 times 1.25. So whatever number this is, you multiply it by 1.25, and that's the equivalent of water. So 6 times 1.25 would be 7.5 gallons. So this extinguisher has the same strength as 7.5 gallons of water. And then 80 BC, if you see 80 BC, the 80 is the square footage. So the square footage of a class B fire, the agent can extinguish. So if these firefighters in the scene had, looking at that fire, it was probably 5 feet by 5 feet, maybe like 25 square feet. So they could feel confident that the extinguisher they're holding is 80 square feet. So that 25 square foot fire, they would feel confident that, okay, we can use an extinguisher. So that's how in their head, when they're coming on scene, they were thinking, do we pull hand lines and use water, or can we run out with this extinguisher and put it out? And knowing that their extinguisher was 80 BC, sounds good. We'll take the extinguisher and put it out. And then this C, there's no number involved with C, electrical fires. So the C being here just means that it would work for electrical fires if it was an electrical fire. So I hope that makes sense. Your 6A, you use the formula, number times 1.25 is the equivalent to how much water. And then the 80B is this number, and then B is the square footage. And then C, if it's there, means that it can put out an electrical fire. And then this number 10 is not saying that this extinguisher weighs 10 pounds. It's saying that the agent in this extinguisher weighs 10 pounds. So with all this nozzles and little accessories here, it would probably weigh maybe closer to 16 pounds, for the whole thing. But the 10 number on this thing is just the weight of the agent. And again, you would pull this pin here. There's usually a tab. Pull the pin, aim this directly on the fire, especially if you're outdoors. Put it out, squeeze and sweep. Its instructions are right here as well. And then this gauge, you want this needle to be in the green. So that means that it's nitrogen that's filled in. So the nitrogen is pressurizing this thing. So you know that when you squeeze this trigger, the nitrogen pressurizes that powder, and you'll have that nice flow of dry chem coming out. So here's the scene. Sorry about the background noise. That's the cameraman. But they're basically looking for the aircraft. They're trying to find out all the missing pieces. I'm sure, especially with it sounded like, or it looked like the aircraft landed pretty violently. But they're basically trying to look for pieces that flew. So here's some. And that way they can take pictures, and they can kind of put the pieces together and try to figure out how fast the aircraft was flying, what angle it hit the ground at, based off of all those other pieces. So again, this is a Pakistan Air Force FT-7. It's a trainer jet. And you can see the Pakistan logo here. And then here's the crash again. And it happened in Pakistan near the city of Mardan. So somewhere in this location. Looked like it was a pretty open area. Didn't see too many houses or buildings around. So I hope you're getting value from this video. Please like and subscribe. I'll try to keep up with this aviation news, and then throw a little bit of firefighter knowledge that I have in. See you guys next time.